Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Do you think that we as men show each other enough respect?
Nah.
And if not, does that open the doorway to being disrespected by the other gender?
Um. Ultimately, no,
You said
because
mostly no
I
or
mean,
ultimately?
well, this is what I'm saying. So the fact of the matter that women understand the dynamic of a man and the danger that's entailed in a man keeps them from, you know, disrespecting men, or at least it's supposed to.
But
So
it's
like you don't.
fantastic.
It's like my bad. Go
But
ahead.
well, what I'm saying is, I just because before you go too much further, the world ain't the same, right? You don't got to kill your own food anymore. They could call other men to protect them from the men that they disrespecting, right? So it's almost like that notion don't even make sense. We're taught since time immemorial, don't hit women, right? The women know that also, right? It's not it's not a brutal world anymore in the same way, you know.
No, now, yeah, we're taught that, but other cultures of men, we got to look outside of us.
Well, let's stay here though. Let's stay in the U.S.
All right, so we talk. So even like U.S., we just talking strictly U.S. and so on and so forth, right? Still,
Mm-hmm.
um, women are supposed to see men as threats, or at least they claim they are. That's why they bring up femicide rates and they bring up all these things and DV and abuse and all these different things, right? So if you're telling me that these men are so dangerous to the point of where you want to call out, DV and femicide, well, at the same time, you're supposed to understand that if you disrespect that man, it might cost you your life. So
Yeah.
so either they're just talking to push a narrative, or they're, what I'm saying, they're going against the dangerous nature of, putting yourself in harm's way by disrespecting somebody that can hurt you.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I understand about like the talking points, right? You know, like what you are acknowledging. But now we just talking, right? We generally speak about the unbecoming behavior because the threat of violence is either misunderstood to your point or doesn't exist, right? Men told me, right? Because we talking about respect. Men told me that if they wife was getting rammed in their house, they would walk out the house because they got too much to lose. I think that too much to lose is oftentimes money, right? I'm gonna get disrespected because I'm not gonna lose my job over a word. There's more fish in the sea and all this other shit. It's just like, yo, do we understand how weak that sounds? And then if you got women who look at you for provision and protection, and you saying shit like, no, I'm gonna let you disrespect me in my house, in my bed, in my door, with my wife, with my like, how do we think that manifests in a so-called weaker vessel and we talking like that? That sounds crazy to me. If my father ever said, yes, I would let another nigga come in here, ram in my wife, and then I would just walk out the house, I would never look at him the same. Oh, sorry, ma. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, is it just me? Or like,
No, I don't agree with that. But at the same time, you got to understand what they're talking about, because
mm-hmm.
do you crash out though? Do you crash out and just, hey, send both of them to Uncle Charles, and now you got to sit down for the rest of your life? Do you do that?
Yes, right?
Oh, nigga, no, I'm not.
See, here's the thing, right? This right here.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I don't. Well, I see. I don't think this is proper. I don't think this is proper. I don't think it's choosing that over manhood. I'm keeping my
Mm.
manhood. Now, I'm not saying I'm just gonna walk out. No, I mean, and do nothing. No, there
Mm.
will be a pound of flesh gained, but at the same time, I'm not finna motherfucking go. That I can't take that nigga dick out that pussy, bro. Respectfully, okay. I can't undick my
Why
wife.
you say respectfully?
I cannot undick my wife, Hamp. So now I'm about to go,
Yeah.
Hamp. I'm about to do 2 life sentences over a hoe that wanted to fuck.
Nah, I got you. I understand, right? I'm just saying, right? But see, my brother Shad said it how he said it. I'm not even erasing that man's manhood, right? I'm just talking about respect, disrespect, the level of disrespect we willing to take, right? And I'm still talking about us. I ain't even start talking about as it even relates to women, but we could go there because I know people are gonna say, "Nah, yo, you can't get arrested. You got to go to jail.
Well,
You
no,
got
but
kids.
so
You
now
got
you
all
say
this shit."
what?
I get it.
So now, hell, let's go there, right?
All
So
right, go ahead.
what's the rule? Hey, you don't check the nigga, you check your bitch. Now there is another. This is the layer though. The kicker or the killer is they in your bed in your house. Now that right there, something got to happen. Something
Something
gonna
got to
happen.
give. You know what I'm
Yeah, something
saying?
gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still like to the point where I'm gonna take it to where now, even in that case, you feel
Mm-hmm.
me? I
Mm-hmm.
gotta, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna let the nigga, cause I ain't fighting no naked nigga. He about to put his drawers on at least, and
Nah,
now I'm
bro.
finna whoop
I
him.
don't mean no
I'm definitely
harm,
finna
bro.
whoop him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not finna just go grab the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Snatch him up out the pussy and then get my OJ on. What if I would have did it? Type shit. Nah, I got too much other shit to lose over a hole, man.
Damn. Nah, I understand, bro. I'm just looking at disrespect, like, and how much we allegedly value respect, right? When it comes to women specifically, right? Isn't that the one thing we say? Love, respect equals love to men, you know? But now I got so many exceptions in which I'm willing to be disrespected for the sake of being locked up, for the sake of my money, whatever, for the sake of the kids. I'm not even saying that those are bad reasons to take disrespect, but then we place so much value on being respected by women, and yet we got all this other shit that we willing to be disrespected about.
This
This
is
what gives me a hard time. You see? Go ahead.
the respect is different. The respect that we want from women comes in the form of appreciation or serves the purpose of appreciation because they're supposed to be dependent on us and we're living up to, the expectation that we're providing something for them. So in return, there's kind of a debt that's paid in the form of appreciation and respect. Whereas this guy in the street doesn't owe me anything, right? So
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't have to appreciate me for anything. I mean, it's still wrong to and I'm just minding it out, just looking at the way. I'm not, agreeing or right and wronging anything. I'm just looking at things as they are. The respect that we expect from men is not the same respect that we expect from women.
Mm-hmm.
I expect you to respect me because I'm formidable and capable. I expect you to respect me as a peer. I expect my wife to respect me out of appreciation and admiration because I've done something and I'm willing to do something for her. Fuck you, just don't fuck with me.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of that is human decency.
That's the crux of it. Yes, that's the foundation of all of it. Yes.
Mm. What y'all think about this, right? Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. So, so, well, somebody made a good point in the chat. Well, not a good point. It's actually a consistent point, right? Niggas will go to jail over their chick, Um, but I'll let that rest for a second. Why are we as men willing to take disrespect depending on the woman?
From the woman or from other men?
So depending on the women, we're willing to take a level of disrespect. Quite often, the more beautiful she is, the more grace she gets. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll take disrespect, right? But it's an absolute no if she got a kid.
For the same reason that we'll be more critical of the less attractive than we would be for the more attractive. Even though we might have something to criticize of the more attractive, we're going to be less critical of them because we don't want to run the risk of losing the potential opportunity to capitalize. You know why? Why men don't tell women that they have bad shot. Like we've all heard women. Oh, his bedroom game sucked, but no man has ever said really genuinely, right? That's why women all think they got magical shot. You know why? Because we can't afford to lose the we want to keep in hanging in the balance the opportunity to return just in case we experience the drought season.
So we let
Taking
her
a bad shot
disrespect.
is better than no
But
shot.
see, I need us to be niggas say they would die for their respect. That's no longer true, right? If I'm gonna let her disrespect that, I'm just speculating. So
Yeah.
and then also,
So be more, I guess, be more specific or detailed with the
okay,
disrespect, because what are we saying? Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I think there's a certain level of where, like, if she just talking back or whatever, we talking about like a bitch that's like, mouthy, or we talking about a bitch that, like you said, she talking to other niggas in your face. What are we saying? Because I think every
I,
man has a line,
I
even with the
seen
finest.
I seen niggas do that. I
But
seen niggas let their woman figure out the situation, like if a man come and approach him and all that. Right. I've seen them like one time so this me, right? I know her, but I ain't never messed with her or nothing, right? And she I'm ready, I'm about to DJ, right? So I'm going to the bar, I'm like rushing, and I bump into by accident. Oh, what's up, right? XYZ. I'm about to get on. Okay, yeah, I seen your flyer on the thing and all that, just like that type of shit. Like she just followed me from DJing, and then a dude come up, but he just at the bar just chilling, but he kind of leaning that way, And so I'm talking to her for like 3 minutes, which is a like, 2 songs, right? But she just, yeah, I like this. I might have this person getting married. I want to tell them that you could DJ, shit like that. And the dude just kind of like looking. We laugh, you know what I mean? Like it just awkward. And I'm like, she didn't even acknowledge boy. And then once I was done talking, she like acknowledged him, whatever the case is. And then I had bumped into him. He's like, great set, at the end. And then I found out they was like together and shit. That shit is like, it felt disrespectful to me. I'm bugging.
no, I agree. But like you said, that's the dynamic of him, and there's so many other things there. I think, like, if you are hyper competitive and you've been involved in anything, like, you know what I mean, organized or unorganized, you're familiar with violence, you have a different lens of things.
Mm-hmm.
And being that the majority of men now don't, right? Or they just get away from that and they never come back to it. Like they only play ball in college, they only play ball in high school or whatever for that. And then they put that shit down and never look back. They were never true competitors. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think most men are true competitors anymore. Because like I say, there's no need to be. So there's a lot of shit that we look at from as
Mm-hmm.
disrespect. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That most things are, nigga, I'm not worried about that shit. I'm not pressed, so on and so forth. So
Yo, but it's fantastic, right? Let's be honest, Aaron, right? Disrespect is objective. How you take it is what you can control, right? So how
mm,
you react to disrespect is subjective, right? But how you disrespect is objective though. Like I don't like so like we was talking, let's say kids slamming the door in anybody's house. Is that disrespectful?
yes,
Yeah,
to us,
yes.
yes.
It don't now if your mom don't yell at you, it don't make it less disrespectful, right?
Yeah, but that's what we're saying. If that kid's never been corrected, to them it's just like it's something that I'm allowed to do and it's something okay to do if I get mad. You feel me? So I think that's a lot of the things too. Where most people aren't checked. Most people, and like you said, to your point, going back to the original scenario you gave, a
Sure.
fine bitch is never checked. A fine bitch literally get away with murder. She talked to people crazy. She got a bad attitude. It's whatever. That's why when she run into a nigga, it's like, hold on, bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to? She's taken aback and she's turned on because you know what I'm saying. She whoa, who?
Turned on.
But that's the
Yeah,
thing. Let's keep being honest, right? Who checking her?
very few,
Very
1%,
few because they
1%.
they 1%, right? Because they thinking how Aaron said they thinking. I don't want to lose access to this box, right? But we'll take disrespect, right? But she absolutely eliminated because she got a kid. So niggas are making exceptions for shit that men used to say they die over, but now a kid is crossing the line. See
Yeah,
that ball, and I'm not saying you should accept the kid. I'm not even, you know what I mean? But I'm just looking at the barrier of entry. How
that's
respect was supposed to be. Love is respect to men, but will be disrespected based on how beautiful she is or how much pussy we want to get. Think about that shit for a second. But then if she have a kid, Oh, hell no, my nigga. You bugging. But she just cussed you out at Target, my nigga. But she got male friends and you don't like that. Like I'm just trying to understand it in totality. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I think the kid thing is talking point to debunk. I think they hang on to that as a way to save face, as a way to say I have a line in the sand somewhere, so leave me alone about the fact that she cussed me out. You know what I mean? Like that's my line in the sand. When really that line ain't even in the sand, really.
Okay, but I'm more so looking at the disrespect. And the brothers made a good point. They say that maybe it's an unfair comparison. I think that I can understand that. I think it's a little bit of a cop, though, to be honest.
Well,
No, I
here's the
mean,
thing.
so
Go ahead.
it's a cop if we're saying if you already got kids, right? If you already got kids, it's a cop. But if not, I agree 1000%. I would never if my son popped up with a chick that already had a kid at fucking 19 years old, or even up until like I say like 25 or so, I'd be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with you? Why?
Okay, cool. But yeah, so the kid is here. When I'm okay, so your son, right? Would you rather him deal with a woman who has a child or a disrespectful woman?
I would rather
Because
him deal with a disrespectful woman.
now look at this, right? Because you know you got money, responsibilities. It's a thankless job, right? In terms of being a stepfather, right? I understand those stereotypes, but now that doesn't reconcile when we say respect is love to men.
Mm-hmm.
When we say men will give up their life if you disrespect them. They can say if you disrespect me, we got a low level threat of violence for disrespect. But now we saying we want to live, say, hey, still go with the disrespectful woman because you're gonna have to pay for that kid. He gonna still love his
Yeah,
daddy.
I
He
can
gonna get
explain.
on your nerves, and then that's not your actual seed, right?
Well,
It's
no,
a
no,
thankless job. Nobody gives a fuck about stuff. I just want to understand this shit, right? Because
I
respect.
can. I got you.
Go ahead, go ahead.
1,000%. I got you. So I can. The reason why, because I went through the
Hold on a
ladder.
minute. I gotta go to the bathroom. Hold on. I'm gonna turn it up so I can hear you. Hold on. Go ahead.
All right, so I personally went through the whole situation of dealing with a woman with kids, i.e., that's how my kids came about the first time, how my sperm got stolen. Okay. So I don't want my son having to go through that pain of developing a relationship with a child, right? And then literally having that child snatched away from you out of anger, out of immaturity, out of whatever, so on and so forth. And this is a child that you took on as your own. And now, because your relationship has failed, right? Which most relationships do, now not only do you lose a person that you were in a relationship with, but a child, bro. That's some pain you don't ever want to have to. And then even more so if you were there in the developing stages of that child, or where you develop a relationship with them, and that they're referring to you as dad, or they see you as a dad, and now this person that's a part of you, even though not biologically, is no longer a part of you. All right. If he just deals with a disrespectful woman and shit don't work out, hey, that bitch is, ding dong, the bitch is dead, and move on to the next one without all the extra other shit. But there's a lot of emotional attachment, man, when a kid is involved. And I would never wish that on my son to have to go through that shit, because I personally experienced it myself.
Okay. Now that I wasn't expecting you to say that. That was a different answer. I ain't gonna hold you. What you think, Aaron?
I mean, if I had to give advice, I mean, I would say go with. See, when you're at a young age, I would just say hit the reset button when you're that young. Um, but if you're at an age where dealing with women starts to become a little bit more inevitable, I would say go with the woman with children, as long as she doesn't have, you know, a football team worth of children. That's different. But if she's got children, go with this one, because disrespect. Here's the thing: disrespect is a choice. Having children doesn't necessarily guarantee disrespect. And what you do needs to be respected and appreciated, kids or not. So even with the woman that's disrespectful, that relationship has to end. It must, if she's going to remain that way, because then you give her children and she's disrespectful. That's worse than a respectful woman with children that aren't yours.
Damn. That's what I'm like. I just really want us to.
And now you're in a conundrum because it's fuck you, you got to go, but now the kids are the tether, and they're gonna and your life is still you talking about the sadness of breaking up, having to separate from kids that you've grown an affinity for, but separating a relationship with kids that you must remain attached to, that's not sadness, my friend. That's abject misery.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah. That disrespect is a choice. It ain't gonna stop.
And if there's any indication that it is going to stop, then it's no longer disrespect. It's just, you know what I mean? Like if you can see a horizon to that, why count it?
It's the motorcycle.
Yeah, but that's what I'm looking at it, right? So I'm looking at it just from odds, right? Most relationships fail. So let's say both of them fail. You lose a lot less for the disrespectful woman, or you always have the chance to have the turnaround. Now, she could have this come to Jesus moment, or this understanding, and she changes her behavior. Usually, like Aaron said, at younger ages than older. That bitch over 35, she is who she is. She ain't changing. Okay. But if we're talking younger, as to where she's never had a father, she's never been around men, so you don't understand what it is to respect a man, but she learns along the way. Cool, fine, that can be turned. But that kid is not yours. It's never going to be turned into your kid biologically. You feel me? So that's why I'm just saying, looking at everything from, ending stage or net what cost benefit analysis, you stand the least to lose, least to lose and most to gain in the situation where the chick don't got no kid.
Well, again, I'll agree that most relationships come to a close. The difference is the probability of a relationship with a woman and his children will come to a close exists because that's the probability. The one that comes to a close with a disrespectful woman came to a close because it must. What's the point in even engaging in it anyway? It's a waste of time.
Yeah. And again, we're trying to understand how much value respect actually has, or disrespect, because we talk about it so much, right? How respect is everything. Respect is love, right? And then when we have to actually mind it out, where does respect actually fall? How much disrespect are we actually willing to take in given situations? Over and over, I heard men say, hey, we're going to accept disrespect for what they deem a greater good, which I understand the logic, but now I'm just questioning the importance of respect.
Well, that's a difficult math problem. See, respect, you're right. It's objective and our response to it is subjective, but it's also comes in like denominations, like money, right? Like there are levels of respect. And make no mistake, respect is, I don't want to say it's for sale, but it is an exchangeable commodity among men. I'll give you an example. Both Fantastic and I went to boot camp. Do you think we weren't disrespected? You yourself became a Greek. The process of becoming a Greek, you did not encounter disrespect. Of course we did. We did it but in exchange for the training and title of something that we believed in that would benefit us and has benefited us. We were right for it. We were absolutely correct for those decisions. But we had to accept a level of, now what level of disrespect were our drill instructors, and where what are your superiors called when you're in the before you cross?
You got deans,
right? Are we going to let them? If we're married, are we going to let them run up in the old? No, that kind of disrespect. No, but disrespect nonetheless. You're allowed to say things and do things to me that some cat just off the street or even in my friend circle is not allowed to do. We've essentially sold some level of respect in exchange for a title and training and belonging.
Yeah, but intentionally.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Yes.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying.
But there's a benefit on the other side of going through that process, right?
Right.
You strip away a lot of stuff that you thought you needed, right? And you learn how to discern situations, right? You have a
Exactly.
different calm or understanding about you when shit really hits the fan.
Mhm.
Because at some level, right, you've submitted yourself to that,
Yes.
you know.
But that's the point. That this respect comes in different levels,
Mhm.
and all respect is not something that we seize with, you know what I mean, the strength of our life. We'll let it go in exchange for something.